Welcome to Unshrinkable, the podcast with a very catchy jingle and where we meet with some really inspiring women doing important work in the world. Get ready for powerful stories and practical tools to support you on your healing journey. I am your host, Emily Katz, and now let's dive into the episode with our next beautiful guest expert. Hello, everyone. I am thrilled to introduce the incredible Lisa Fox. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Lisa is a multi-six-figure entrepreneur and business mentor, and she was my coach too. She empowers ambitious women, especially mothers, to achieve six-figure success without the overwhelm. With a background as a performer and over 20 years in business, she blends authenticity, presence, and emotional resonance into her coaching. Her clients often describe her as a transformative force, helping them break through income ceilings and embrace their true selves and lead lives filled with confidence and purpose. I can attest to all of the above, yes. Some of her client results include 10xing their income, 11x mine, by the way, signing five-figure clients, 60K launches, setting out group coaching programs, even as brand new coaches in as little as 48 hours of launching. Yes. I cannot wait for Lisa to share her insights on confidence and business building, revealing the incredible benefits and life-changing potential of women making money online. So,
I can't wait either. Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
yay. Okay, so let's begin. Lisa, please, can you now introduce yourself and how you got here doing what you do?
Okay, so I'm Lisa fucking Fox. And I have been in this industry for the last 4 years. I sometimes look back at the growth that I had from day one, and I'm like, I decided at the beginning that I was going to be the example of and the embodiment, the walking, talking embodiment of what I believed, which is that the more confident you are, the more money you make. And so I set out on a mission to not just prove that, but embody it and show by example. And when looking back, I actually sometimes I'm astounded myself at just how quickly I was able to do that and how effectively and how many women I have brought along with me on the journey. I'm so I don't know, I always say that alignment feels like excitement.
Hmm.
Well, I'm fucking motherfucking aligned if that's the case, because I'm just I'm still so on fire for this. And every step of the journey, and there have been ups and downs, but every step of the journey has been exactly right and has brought me to exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I guess to answer how did I get here? I mean, I know that what's unique about my journey specifically is my background. I was a performer, and a lot of my methodologies are based on what I learned as a performer and about star power. And so I bring a lot into my work about obviously visibility and showing up, but it's based on lived experience and based on what it actually takes to get up in front of an audience of people made up of people who know you intimately or not so well, and potentially millions of people who don't know you at all, and have the ability to feel enough comfort in your own skin to actually be yourself and be authentic, which I think that the meaning of that word has gotten so skewed, but actually be outrageously yourself while people are witnessing you. I think your ability to be comfortable being outrageously yourself will ultimately determine how much money you will make online. And your whole thing that you told me we were going to talk about is how personal development is in business is the biggest differentiator of how you're going to do. And really, the amount of people who have told me working with me, it's like personal development on steroids. I mean, I work with a lot of psychologists these days who are online now, and even the psychologists are like, I thought I had personally developed all I could possibly personally developed, and this is a new level. And how willing you are to be uncomfortable, how willing you are to actually go there, will determine everything.
Yes. And again, I can attest to that. I found you a couple of years back when I was specifically looking for confidence help because I realized that like the imposter syndrome piece was a really big piece for me that I needed to work on. And at the time, you were talking a lot about confidence. And I feel that it just really has, the more I've been building my business, the more it's a parallel process with self-healing and visibility, being able to show up, as you say. I think the fact that you have a background in performance and acting obviously is, it's a no-brainer that this is how, where you've ended up really focusing on, and where your gifts lie. But I do what I find it helpful and important to share as well is that I think a lot of people look at women like you online and would say, oh, it comes naturally to you, and it's just, you were born with it and you've got this thing. And yes, maybe in some ways the performance piece was or wasn't, but I know your story. And I think that would you feel okay sharing a little bit about your journey from your self-development kind of perspective? Because I
Yeah.
think it's important for people to hear.
So I agree with you. A lot of people look at me now and go, well, it's easy for you because you are confident.
Hmm.
And nothing could be further from the truth if you knew me like when I was a child, a teenager, like a 20-year-old, like a 25-year-old, a 30-year-old. Like, so I became a performer because I was a gifted artist. And it was just in my blood. And I also like, when you're an artist, if you don't share that art, you're not expressed, right? And so for me, I had to get over my own confidence issues and in order to be able to express myself, right? But when I say I wasn't confident, I don't just mean that like I had a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like as a child, I would literally so I played the fiddle. And before I would play at a concert or a competition or in front of people, I would be so nervous and so terrified that I would puke. Like I literally would puke before I would go on stage in any capacity. It did not come naturally to me. But even outside of performing, if I, as a teenager, if I would speak to somebody, even somebody sometimes that I would know well, my face would just go red. I would start sweating. I'd start like getting so self-conscious that I would like couldn't speak properly. Like, so it's that it wasn't just a little confidence thing where, oh, she's a bit shy. I was deeply, deeply insecure and had no idea how I would like get over that. And so like, but I did because I was an artist and because I needed to express myself. And there was many milestones along the way that helped me to do that. One of the key ones was my cousin when I was a teenager and I was doing these like fiddle competitions, right? So in Ireland we have a thing called the Flaccio, right? And it's like, there's county, regional, and all Ireland competitions when it comes. And people come from all over the world, by the way, to play. But I was really good, and my mother knew I was really good. I knew I was really good. I knew I could win. I knew I could do really well in these competitions, and but I couldn't play in front of people without fucking it up like massively. Like literally, I could not get through a piece of music without stopping, being mortified, making mistakes, like to the point where I was like, I actually said to my mother, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to play anymore. And I had a cousin who was a few years older than me and was a rock star. In as much as you can be a rock star playing Irish music. But he was the most confident person I've ever met. And my mother said to him, will you coach her so that she can actually learn how to play with confidence and like get through a piece of music and actually be able to play in front of people? He was like, oh, fine. So I spent a week in his house and every single day he coached me on how to do this. And like it was a process. It was a process where I literally had to unlearn even just the way I was playing music to be able to do it confidently. And I won't bore you with the whole process, but what he taught me in that week is like part of the foundation of like the confidence queen archetypes, the star power program, like all these things that I've developed to help my clients to be able to get up on the online stage and actually express their gifts without like fucking it up or like in their mind or out there, like actually be able to articulate those gifts, actually be able to say, here's what I got, here's who it's for, here's what the transformation of it is. Come get me. So like, yeah, and what I also found is the skill of confidence is it's transferable, but so what I found is a lot of people that I work with say, yeah, what I can't understand is that I actually am really confident. Like if you ask somebody in my real life, I'm the most confident person in the room most of the time, but I still have these visibility blocks and I still don't feel that way when it comes to online business. And the thing about it is there are different types of confidence. And anybody who starts a business, in my experience, is way more confident already than most people in the room. But it takes a different level of resilience, self belief, and audacity to take up space online where everyone's making noise and where the requirement is to be yourself now more than ever before. And being yourself is the hardest part of it. Knowing who you are and actually bringing that online is the hardest part of it.
Yes. I can attest that too. Very true. Thank you for sharing, by the way. I really do feel that there's a lot of unlearning to be done when it comes to the who we're supposed to be, who we're meant to be, the shoulds. But I think everyone does struggle with their own version of unlearning, whatever it may be. And you did mention your archetypes.
Mm.
I think your archetype, well, I think everything you do is genius. I think you're a genius, but the confident archetypes is something that I really, really love. Is it okay if you share a little bit about what those are? Because
Yeah.
I think that it's just so good.
Yeah, absolutely. So the confidence queen archetypes are a system basically for people to be able to identify what kind of confidence is their signature kind of confidence. So, like, everybody is different and everybody has a different type of natural confidence. So, I'll just mention what the archetypes are if I can remember off the top of my head. So, we've got the rock star confidence queen, which
Mhm.
I think was your one, right? If that was your
That
main.
was the first one the main one, yeah.
And actually, you really helped me with the development of that archetype. I used you as like a not a guinea pig, but as a way to help me to really express what that archetype is. Um, when I started developing that archetype. So there's the rock star archetype, the high priestess, the mama bear, the lighthouse, and what's the last one?
Pick that
Lioness.
one.
The
The
lioness is
lioness.
one. Yeah.
How'd you forget lioness?
And like that was the first
You
one.
would lie.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, like a rock star confidence queen is very different than a lighthouse confidence queen.
Hmm.
A rock star, for example, right? Rock star confidence queen is somebody who actually is born for the spotlight. Actually, as a child, a rock star confidence queen probably was a show off, probably was told they were a show off, right? And
Hmm.
for a rock star confidence queen, like they view what it is that they are here to share with the world as artistic expression. Whereas the what was the other one? Was it the high priestess or the lighthouse? Anyway, let's talk about the in comparison, the high priestess. The high priestess, in comparison, their type of confidence is not so much about like, look at me, I need to express this. No, no, no. It's more about like, I have got this gift, and that is the thing that is in the spotlight, and that it's all about the gift. And yes, while everybody needs to express themselves, that's actually more what their driving force is. Whereas for the rock star, the whole thing is the driving force. Like they're in it for that expression, for that like being on stage, for that like the hype and the glamour and the, you know, it's that's all part of them. And I believe like everybody has different parts of each archetype in them, but for most people, they will find that whichever confidence queen archetype is theirs, that's usually the one that they also have a lot of the shadow side of. And that's the one that they need to do the most work on in order for them to actually be outrageously themselves and be able to know how to be outrageously themselves in a way that actually translates online, in a way that makes them able to show up in that kind of energy where they actually do feel like, okay, this has brought me into my own authenticity. And so, like, again, we'll use the rock star as the example because that's you. Like with the rock star confidence queen, often the thing that is the most them is that like wild performance glamour, like too muchness, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they've been shamed or
It's
criticized,
conditioned out of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
like for being who they really are. And so it's actually like the job with that archetype is actually to just like get rid of that conditioning. Because like for a rock star confidence queen, it is their exactly the things that they were told was too much about them that they need to embody the most, because that is the key that unlocks their audience, that is the key that unlocks their visibility, that is the thing that makes them the most money. The thing that was they're ashamed of being too much of is their actual key to success.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with the rock star confidence queen is as well, another like key aspect, which I know you know, but the rock star confidence queen, because they're a rock star, they have this absolute desire, and it gets in their way to, yes, be witnessed, but it's like, where is my audience? My audience should automatically, I should never, ever, ever need to tell anybody about my gift. Yeah. And it's the resistance towards actual marketing to actually like make themselves discoverable, to actually be able to shout about their gifts from the rooftop. That's yeah.
I have to say, recently I've discovered the Gene Keys, and I've been posting about it a lot, and it really touches on that. One of my Gene Keys, and I don't remember if it's vocation or purpose or life cycle or whatever, whichever one it was, because there's a whole bunch of them, but it literally spoke about like my shadow is not embracing my potential, like resisting embracing the potential. And it really like it really aligns with what you're saying. And so yes, it's I really, when I saw your archetype work, and I saw the power of it and the genius of it, and I think it's amazing. I told you need to write a book about it. So
And I do need to write a book
you
about
do
it.
need to write a book.
So the thing I will say though about archetypes in general and like gene keys and these like personality type things that tell us about ourselves, we love them because we love to discover more about ourselves. We love to learn about why we are the way we are, you know, and what's holding us back and what our genius is. But one of the things that I hope I did really well with the archetypes is to like not get you locked into this addiction to learning more about yourself, because that's so comfortable. They are designed to get people into action, to get people into implementing. The thing about it is our brains, and I'm sure you've heard me talking about this before, our brains are so comfortable and feel so fulfilled with learning. But unless we actually use the learning that we have in self-development, right, and are willing to be uncomfortable in implementing it and taking massive action with it, it's not going to translate into money, right? And this is why I developed the confidence queen archetype specifically. People often ask me, what's the main thing that you see like that is the difference maker between somebody making money or making a lot of money or not so much money. And this, as I said, is the whole reason I started my business. I started my business on this premise, but this has been proven to me so much, not just by me, but by like so many people that I've witnessed and coached. You literally, if you want to make a lot of money, this is a disturbing fact.
Pause. Yes, I am interrupting. I'm sorry. But if you're enjoying this episode, you can prove it by liking and subscribing. And also, please share it with a friend who's into all things healing. It will be a huge, awesome support for us. So yeah, go do that. Okay, cool. Back to the show. Thank you. Love you.
Right. If you want to make a lot of money, the only requirement actually is confidence. I have seen, and it has disturbed me, how much money people can make just by being supremely confident without having the goods to back it up. And so that's why my mission has slightly changed and evolved over the years, just with one nuance, and that is it's not so much now that I want to help people to make a lot of money by being more confident. I want to make gifted people a lot more money by being more confident, because we do not need more coaches, more entrepreneurs who are able to talk a big talk.
Yeah.
But what I found is often it's the most gifted people that have the most issues with their confidence and actually just showing up and taking up space.
I also think that like the gifted people not only have been maybe had their lights dimmed a lot, right? Because their gifts have been perceived as threatening, I guess. Overgeneralizing here, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I also feel that they then perhaps don't believe in themselves and don't. I think society is very much conditioned kind of giftedness out of us. Even just in school, like school systems really do kill creativity. And there was a study, by the way, done by NASA, and then the guy that did it, like externally in his own research, that 98% of children are gifted. They're like creative geniuses. 98% of children. And by the time we get to adulthood, it is down to 3%.
Yep.
The same children. Like
Yes.
they were, and it's literally like conditioned out of us, our creative genius. And so, yeah, I think that I really am very much aligned with what you're saying. One of my core values is integrity. And so it's been something really difficult for me when we're looking at making money online and then trying to get through all the stereotypes and the perceived, kind of all the different hurdles of it. But I think that one of the things I really loved about you and your mission is that you really helped me see and believe that money in the hands of women and moms. And it's one of the reasons I also signed up for your program, because I was like, I want to support you as a mom as well, like, and your business. And I love what you're doing. And so it was, I really resonate with that mission, that money in the hands of women, mothers, mission driven, I think that will make for a better world.
It will completely change the world. And we're nowhere near the goal.
No, I know.
Nowhere near
100%.
the goal.
But
Like,
I really, really resonate, because one of the things that I've worked on in my money mindset, for example, part of self-development with building a business, is very much like, I used to believe that money was bad and evil, and I really demonized money, because like, look at how it's fucked up so many different things in the world. And but it's not money itself that's bad. Money is neutral. Money is a resource. Money is a tool. Money is a token of exchange, right? But it's who it's in the hands of that makes it good or bad. Like,
that's
so
right. That's
I
right.
really do feel that the more people that are do-gooders have money, then the world is just going to be that much better.
Oh my God. And can I just go back to a point that you were making there about like conditioning? I think, and I was at, my brother is home from Australia at the moment, and he's a performer as well. But we were having this conversation last night, and I think this is like really, and I think your audience will really resonate with this. I think a lot of it, like when people hold themselves back,
Mhm.
it's yes, conditioning and stuff that's happened to them in the past, right? And maybe this is part of conditioning as well. But from a slightly different angle, I know that for a lot of people, what holds them back the most is this, like it's the tall poppy syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Tall poppy syndrome. Like where the people who know you the most and are supposed to love you the most often can get very triggered by you being a mirror for them, basically, and you actually putting yourself out there and actually trying to achieve more. And then, like, everybody, it roots for the underdog. And it is literally a fact. And we know this. And this is why everybody is afraid, because we know this happens. When we go big, yeah, when we're the underdog, when it doesn't look like we might succeed, everybody's like, oh, go you. But when you do actually start having success, people start saying all sorts of nonsense about you. People get triggered by you. People start like criticizing you behind your back, sometimes in front of your face. This is what holds us back, is that we don't necessarily have the resilience to hold the kind of success that we're trying to call in. And so we literally cannot have our success contingent upon the fact that everybody who currently likes us will continue to like us. This story sticks out for me. And I was telling my brother about this last night. I remember as an actor, I was with one of my friends. She was a friend at the time. She's no longer my friend. But we were in a shop together. And she is a very ambitious, very brilliant actor, by the way. Like, I would say possibly one of the best actresses I've ever seen in real life, right? And she was one of my best friends at the time. And were her results matching her level of talent? No, they weren't. But that's part of the journey, right? Fine. Anyway, we were walking past the magazine stand and she spotted one of our mutual friends on the cover of a magazine, right? And the girl who was on the cover of the magazine, just for background, she was in acting school with us. She had gone from, like, she was, again, very ambitious, very talented, but knew how to play the game and got far fast. And when we were in acting school, she was quite a lot bigger, but she had recently lost all this weight. She looked like a fucking model. She was stunning. She always was stunning, but like she was like now like model level, and was starting to book all these gigs and was starting to have this success. So much so that she was on the front of this magazine in this sort of like model pose, right? And the friend that I was with was like, oh my God, did you see the cover of that magazine? I was like, what, where? And she showed me that, and I was like, oh, she looks amazing. And she was like, my friend was like, mortified for her. And I was like, what do you mean you're mortified for her? She's like, she's posing like a model. Like, who does she think she is? I was like, well, she looks like a model. And she was like, I know, but like, I would be embarrassed to do that. Like, I mean, she kind of thinks now that she thinks she's made it and she's la la la. And I was like, this is why people are afraid to put themselves out there the way that she did in order to create the success that she had. And I remember making a decision in that moment, because at the time, I was also holding myself back as an actor. And I couldn't quite put my finger on what was one of the main reasons I was doing that. And in that moment, I was like, you're the reason that I've been holding back. You and people like you, not wanting to be judged by the people who should be cheerleading you, the people who should be inspired by your success. And I was like, fuck that noise. And that was a real turning point for me. But I know from being in this industry as well, that is for a lot of my clients, one of the biggest reasons. And often the thing that I say to people, and I probably said this to you before as well, when you're thinking about where I'm just like, what is everybody going to say? I'm worried about what everybody will think of me, blah, blah. I always say, like, who's the person that pops into your mind? There's one face, there's one name, there's one person that's popping in, and you're probably exactly right about what they're saying and thinking and what they would believe. But are you going to let them own you? Because right now, if that person who pops into your mind is allowing you to hold yourself back from what you're here for, they own you. They own you. Nope, not on my watch.
Yes. And that is very much something that stayed with me and stuck with me. I remember you talking about that. I remember you saying like block people on your Facebook if necessary so that they don't, so that that doesn't block you. And I literally had a conversation with my husband about it yesterday as well. Was
Mm.
it yesterday or the day before, where it's like, I'm going to prove people wrong. Like and instead of letting it hold me back, I'm going to use it to like push me forward. But I very much resonate with there's something that I read recently, Susie Ashworth's book. And so I'm just reading it again. And so I have this in my mind where she says the be, do, have, right? And you mentioned about taking action. It's not just the knowledge. And I use that also in my modality. The fourth step is application. Like knowledge is power in a way, but application is where you really apply the power and you really get empowered and you actually like then see the power and harness it. But the thing is that a lot of people I think most people focus on the having. This is what I want to have and how am I going to have it and la la la. And then when self-development, it's about like the being, okay, who do I need to be? And like, how am I going to that? And you're talking about that, the piece in between. You've got to do the being and then the doing so that you have it. It's like the whole like there's three pieces to it.
And this is what I have noticed as well is another key to success.
Mhm.
And it's slightly unrelated, but it's not really. What I have noticed is that the people who are a walking, talking embodiment of their work, are the people who make the most money. Because there's like a lot of people will say, oh, I want to have this business. And there's a sense of entitlement. I've invested in this program. Therefore, where are my results? And which is like, I kind of get it, but I'm also like, no, it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. And even like when people say to me, like, give me the secret, give me and there are certainly lots of things that I really help people to master. But if you were not willing to be a walking, talking, evolving embodiment of exactly what you are preaching, how the fuck is anybody going to believe that it's going to work for them? Or how are they like, how are they supposed to believe this is what conviction is built on, right? Yes, I'm getting results for my clients, but I am doing this in real time. I am leading you through this. So like I always at a certain point with especially my higher level clients, it's like I will say, you have it now. You literally have mastered the things. And if you're like it's like going from like 10 to 20K months, it's usually not so much about strategy or mastering like your mind or blah, blah, blah. It's actually more about, okay, now can you really prove and have that conviction that what you have is pure gold because you know at a cellular level that you're embodying it and you're the proof of it. And that is supreme confidence. That is where like, because this is the other thing, is like there are a lot of people making a lot of money just because they're really confident, but they truly believe that what they have is magic. Like they truly believe it. And that's why we buy into it. So we've got to believe that what we have is magic, especially when it is.
I mean, look, I always say the ultimate qualification is lived experience. And so that ties into like practicing what you preach as well. I always say that. And that's why we're mentors, right? But it ties in actually, nice little segue into what I wanted to move into, is the idea of, because what I focus on is self-healing. And I have found that the more I have leaned into my purpose and mission, the more healing I am doing, and then the more of like progress I'm making with pursuing my purpose and mission too. I find that pursuing your passion and your purpose is very healing. And I feel that when you're mission driven, that gives you that intrinsic motivation that many people don't have to be and do and then have, the things. And I feel that the gifted mission driven people really do then get that extra like benefit. But I feel that if I wasn't pursuing my purpose, if I hadn't found it and feel like this is my calling, this is what I'm meant to be doing, I wouldn't have made such progress with my healing too. So I think it's like parallel process, but one feeds the other as well.
And yeah.
And I think that then when when you put business in there too, that's really freaking awesome.
It's just a recipe for blowing up your life in the best possible way.
And
And
I think that's so exciting.
it's so exciting. And I think that's the like business success is never just one thing. And I know a lot of people who market are like, oh, just heal yourself and it'll all be fine, or just be confident, it'll all be fine, and just be blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's never just one thing. It's always a combination of the right ingredients put together and popped in the oven and experimented with. Like, you've got to be so willing to experiment and to be on the adventure. And it has to feel like that. It has to feel so exciting. Otherwise, you won't want to do it. It has to have a sense of fun. Otherwise, it'll be too hard, right? Like when we play, I just did an event called the Six Figure Game. And it's all about this concept of like, let it be a game. When we play games, we will only win them if we're really having fun playing them. Otherwise, we won't play them. We might say, oh, yeah, I must do that. Like, I must go play that game someday. But if you're not motivated to actually go and have fun with it, you won't play it. But if you think about, like, I think I see a lot of people coming in like, okay, I made the move, I made the investment. Where's my results? Like, you're missing the fun, actually. If you want to skip straight to that entitled, like, where's my results? It's like, this, I feel sad for you, because why do we play games? Like, if you're even watching a game, if you're watching I don't know, sports, whatever, if you turned on the TV and like it was like this big anticipated match between these two powerful teams, right? And you turned it on and they were like, the winner is blah. You'd be like, I want the hour and a half of like drama. I want the challenges. I want to be on the edge of my seat. I want to be on that journey. And that is actually how we have to approach our businesses. We have to feel like that. Otherwise, it's like we're actually playing a game that we didn't want to play in the first place. And if we can acknowledge that, it's like, okay, great, let me do something else. Like I'm never going to be good at Mario Kart, if that's even the name of that video game, because I played it once and I was like, get me out of here. Like, this is not the kind of game that I would have fun playing. So I'm never like, it's not a game that I particularly would want to play or win. I will suffer through it if my son has no one else to play with and he's dying to play it, right? But like, it's not my game. Business, on the other hand, this game, like, I cry, I laugh, I fucking like pull my hair out on a daily basis, but that's the fun. That's the fun of it.
You know what, though, as well? Like, as someone who specializes in like mental health and self-healing, like it's so heavy and it's so serious and it sucks, right? Like where we start, where what we're struggling through. And then when I see people heal and go through things and after working together and where I've reached going through my self-healing journey, there is a lightness, there is bliss, there is the gratitude, all the high vibe feelings, basically, right? Like, and I think it is that journey of shifting from the low vibration to the high vibration when it comes to mental health and
Yeah.
self-development and self-healing
Yeah.
and self-actualization. A lot of the Gene Keys, I've read them for my clients now. Like, I've been offboarding all my clients, and reading their Gene Keys, have like so much of it talks about lightness, delight, bliss, love, happiness, joy, play, creativity. Like, so much, I believe, of life is fulfilling our potential and self-actualizing and healing ourselves to get there is about that lightness and that delight and that fun and that joy. And when you pursue your passion, you are lit the fuck up, right? Like, it is what excites you, what resonates with you. I don't see my work as work because I live and I breathe it and I love it, and it's just I have I always said I don't want to be a shrink or anything like that, because I don't want the one-on-ones. I don't have the patience and having to listen to people's things. that's not what I'm doing. I'm a mentor. And when I'm with someone who is driven, who is learning, who is a sponge, who is, like taking notes and and doing the things and then getting like these changes and these breakthroughs and we have aha moments and it's all like synchronistic and like they're helping me and I'm helping them. And it's just like this beautiful thing. I'm so energized after my course. You can even tell I love it. But I think that it is about finding that thing that lights you up. And when you find that, and then you can pursue that, then life completely transforms, right? And so I know with you, it's the focus is business, right, and making money. But I think even if you're like, if the listener that's listening that isn't, listening to this for business and for money, or to my podcast, it's very much the idea of finding what lights you up and going with that. The fact that you can then make money doing that too, then again, the way I see it when it comes to the online business, I think that it is conscious capitalism and it is about making a difference and making an impact. And we can make bigger impact the more people that we reach. And so I am very much also working more and more with women who want to heal themselves and help themselves so that they can then show up and pursue their passion and their purpose and use their gifts to then contribute and help and heal others in whatever way that may be, right? And
Yeah.
so I feel that I'm starting to also kind of serve similar audience, but from a different angle. But the idea here is the purpose piece and the mission and
Yeah.
the gift so that you can really share your gift with the world. And when you don't do that, I think it was you that said it, that it's actually a disservice. And that if you don't, that's something that stuck with me too. Like if I don't figure out how to show up and be visible and put myself out there and believe in myself and believe in the work that I'm doing, and then I won't reach people and help them. And
No, it's morally wrong for you not to figure this out. So truly, truly.
it sounds so funny saying like it's wrong. It's wrong for
It
you not to figure this out. It is, and I believe it too.
Yeah, yeah. Cute, finally.
I very much believe it.
Yeah.
But I think that for many people, at least like me, who are survivors, trauma survivors, it is really, really the unlearning, the reconditioning is just it goes so deep, and it does take time, and it does take a while to really shift. It's an identity shift. It is becoming a whole
And
different person.
it's wildly, wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that is why most people won't ever do it. But like, talking about like being lit up, I think, and this is like almost inspired by Mario, like even though I don't really understand the game, but just what my understanding, my limited understanding. I think that if we can see our blocks and our challenges and our limitations as the very things that actually hold our power inside them, we can see discomfort as the biggest opportunity that we have to up level. Because when you use that block to jump on it, crack it open, take your power back from it, that's when you shoot up. That's when you go up to the next level. And it's
Yes, the unlocking the next levels. I've used those analogies too in the past, and I think Melanie and Leah probably as well. I think it's this. I really, really resonate with that. I see challenges and opportunities, but when you do play those games, I used to play Nintendo. I used
yeah.
to love Mario, but it's like you do it again and again and again and again until you get through that level, and then when you break through, you up level, you get to the next level, and it is about breaking through, and it's always another layer with more challenges, with more hurdles.
Exactly.
But I really do approach
Just
challenges now
wonderful.
with excitement. I'm like, now there's a new challenge. I'm
Exactly.
like, okay, what am I going to learn today? What is my opportunity? How am I going to grow with
Are.
this? When I get triggered, I'm like, okay, what am I going to learn with this trigger?
And also, it's like, what fun can I have with this? Like, I think the more levels you go up, and as you said, like, you realize on every single level, there's just more blocks and challenges and limitations. It's like, oh, this is the game. Oh, okay. I'm gonna like learn how to play at this level now. And it's fantastic
But
fun.
it takes away the heaviness and the seriousness as well. Like it's like instead of it happening to me and being a victim of all these challenges, it's happening for me so that I get stronger and bigger and grow and get up to and like go up the levels. Eventually, we'll get to the to
And
the finish line.
that's just not a nice idea. That is the ultimate truth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay. Well, okay. I'm going to end it there. I love that. And so it's a good place to end on. But I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your wisdom and your time and thank you for everything that you've taught me.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, never a chore. And you are so welcome. And I'm so honored. And Emily, I respect you and the work that you do so much. And I know that the world needs your bigness. So, like, thank you for bringing it.
Thank you. I mean, there's so many different things that I wanted to say and squeeze in, but I think that we covered the bits that I wanted to cover, the main ones, and I really am honored that I can end season 1 with you. It feels like a nice like circle, and I like it. Thank you to everyone listening in too. I hope you find our conversation as inspiring and enlightening and helpful as I did. And you can find Lisa's links in the description wherever it is on wherever you're listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. Your support helps me reach other listeners and Lisa too, and hopefully make a bigger impact. Both of us would love to hear from you as well. What was your biggest takeaway from today? So stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned for more episodes coming your way. Lisa, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that's a wrap. So yay, thank you for listening all the way through. I'm going to assume that means you liked it. So if you haven't yet, please go and hit the like and subscribe buttons. And don't forget to share this with someone who is into healing. And come and say hi on our socials. We really, really would love to connect with you. The link's in the description below. And I'll catch you on the next episode.